All right, let's just jump right into it. We hear these terms, left and right, thrown around constantly. They're on the news, all over social media, probably even in conversations you've had this week. But if you've ever stopped and thought, wait, what do those words really mean? Well, you are definitely not alone. So today, we're gonna finally get to the bottom of it. I mean, think about it. These words pretty much drive our entire political conversation. We use them to sort out governments, political parties, and even specific policies. But what's the secret code here? When we use these labels, what are we actually saying about the world? And yeah, this right here gets to the heart of the whole problem. We use these labels with so much confidence, like we all secretly agreed on what they mean. But honestly, more often than not, they just make things even more confusing. It's kind of like we're all speaking a language that very few of us have the dictionary for.
So that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we're gonna make any sense of the political debates that are happening all around us, we really need to understand the foundation. And to do that, we actually have to go back in time, way, way back.
You'd probably think the most famous political labels in the world came from some, super deep philosophical book or a famous manifesto. But the truth? It's much more random than that. It all started with something as simple as where people decided to sit in a room. So let's set the scene. The year is 1789, the place is France, and a little thing called the French Revolution is kicking off. Inside the new National Assembly, a really simple pattern started to emerge. All the radicals, the ones who wanted to get rid of the monarchy and build something totally new, well, they all gathered on the left side of the room. And the folks who wanted to preserve tradition, keep the king, and maintain order, you guessed it, they sat on the right. And boom, just like that, a total accident of geography became a political identity. This simple act of choosing a seat created a powerful shorthand. Left means change, right means tradition. And that basic, almost simplistic idea has somehow stuck around for over 200 years, growing into something way more complex. So how in the world does a seating chart become a global framework for politics? Well, over time, those initial feelings, the desire for change on one side and the need for stability on the other, they grew into two completely different ways of looking at the world. What's really fascinating is that you can pretty much boil it all down to two core values. For the left, the starting point is a deep concern for equality. It looks out at the world and asks, who's being treated unfairly? And then it tries to transform the systems that cause that unfairness. Now, in contrast, the right starting point is order. It places a high value on traditions and institutions that create stability, and so it's naturally pretty cautious about any big changes that might shake things up. This question, who was being left behind, this is the engine that drives the left. It's this constant search for injustice, a deep-seated drive to challenge the way things are, all in the name of creating a fairer society for everyone. And right on the heels of that comes the essential counter-question from the right. What keeps society from falling apart? From this perspective, society is a pretty fragile thing, It's held together by traditions, institutions, and shared values. So the number one concern is protecting that social fabric from any changes that might lead to chaos. So this is a really crucial point. These aren't rigid boxes that people fit neatly inside. I mean, almost nobody is 100% one or the other. It's much better to think of them as different starting points, different core instincts about what we should prioritize when we make big decisions as a society. Okay, so we've got the core values down, equality versus order. But how does a big philosophical difference like that actually show up in the real world? Let's take a look at how these ideas translate into actual positions on everyday issues. This chart here shows exactly how it works. So take the economy. If your starting point is equality, you're naturally going to be focused on things like fair wealth distribution. But if your starting point is order and individual freedom, you're going to emphasize things like free enterprise. Same thing with social change. The left is way more open to reforming institutions it sees as unfair, while the right is more cautious, believing that there's real wisdom baked into those traditions. The starting value directly shapes the policy. See how that works? So why do we even need to know this stuff? Because understanding this fundamental divide gives us a map. It's a tool that helps us navigate the noisy, often confusing world of politics, and lets us see the landscape a whole lot more clearly. And to be clear, this isn't about just slapping labels on people and calling it a day. It's about having a framework to understand why people disagree so deeply. It helps us see past all the surface-level shouting and actually get to the underlying values that are driving the arguments. And once you have this map, you can start to ask much, much better questions. Instead of just hearing left or right, you can dig a little deeper. You can ask, okay, what specific kind of equality are they fighting for? Or what specific kind of order are they trying to defend? This is how we move from just hearing the political noise to actually understanding the conversation. Because ultimately, that's what this is really all about. Left and right aren't just teams in some kind of political sport. They represent these massive competing visions of what society should be. It's this constant, ongoing tension between protecting what we have and changing it for the better. And the question this map leaves us with is, where on that landscape do we all stand?